it's Jeff Zito, and it's time for 98 Seconds on the Shark. So, it's summertime, and I can remember growing up in the summertime in New Jersey, what we did, we'd go in the woods, we'd make a tree fort, or pull crayfish out of a pond, or drink beers in the woods. Always managed to get a little poison ivy, though. I have terrible poison ivy, an addiction or an allergy, I should say, to poison ivy, but my dad's a little bit on the old school side, so I'd get the poison ivy, blisters upon blisters all over my hands, so painful. He'd say, "Hey, let's get rid of that poison ivy. I got a home remedy." Yeah, he talked like Vinnie Barbarino from Welcome Back, Kotter. So we'd go into the laundry room, and my old man, once again, old school, he'd grab a wired brush like the ones that he would, brush the dog with, and he would rub it onto my poison ivy hands until the blisters started to bleed. And then he would go underneath the sink and he would grab a whole bottle of Ammonia. That's right, that's what your mom used to clean bathrooms with, and he would pour it all over my hands. I would cry, and he'd be like, "Hey, man up, this is how you get rid of the poison ivy." Well, he was right. The poison ivy was gone the next day, probably about 2 or 3 layers of skin. If that happened today, I'm pretty sure Matt Zito would be behind bars. It's me, Zito, with 98 Seconds on the Shark.